Good morning. This is Coffee with Kim with your host, Kimberly Krieger, the founder of the Fellowship of Extraordinary Women and few international publications. We're so glad you joined us here this morning to listen and watch, because we are now on Zoom with real friends talking about real problems and real obstacles that women face.
And real
But
hope.
we try to keep it fun because there's always hope.
That's right.
We promise to keep it real, and we usually always keep it fun. So grab a cup of coffee or tea and listen to us. I'm Heather Taylor, and here is your lovely host, Miss Kimberly Krieger. Woo!
Hello, you guys. Thank you for joining us this time.
How are you, Miss Kim?
I'm doing so well, Miss Heather. How are you? Oh my goodness, coming off of last week down in Nashville. Your daughter had surgery and now you're the nursemaid.
The nursemaid. I'm the fake nurse. Thank you very much.
Well, you've been a fake nurse for a long time. That's nothing new.
I am doing great.
That's what we call Heather, you guys. Her nickname amongst our families is fake nurse because she used to be a CNA, which is a nurse's assistant. So she knew just enough to make her think she was as smart as a nurse. So
I knew just enough to get me in trouble, but not enough to actually fix things.
she knew enough to scare the crud out of us. Let's be honest. Something would go wrong.
Hey, I was usually right.
She'd be like, sounds like gangrene. And I'd be like, you are a fake nurse. Stop diagnosing me.
I was always right. Not always, but I'm usually right. I'm
Mostly.
pretty smart.
But how's Linny Bear doing? How is our patient?
Our patient is amazing. Unbelievable. She is just the strongest woman I have ever met in my life.
Oh,
And of course, all of you know I'm talking about my daughter, Lynn.
Yes.
Hip surgery on Wednesday of last week. And she is just, she's doing amazing. She's unbelievable. It just tells me how severe the pain was that she was in for the past 18 months. When I watch her now, after she was in surgery for 2.5 hours, they shaved her hip bone. They cut out, they just did all of these things, these horrible procedures that needed to be done. And she was up walking an hour after the surgery on crutches. And every time we ask her, do you want a pain pill? No. I'm like, you really need a pain pill. Take a pain pill. She's a trooper. We went to PT today for the first time.
Wow, already.
Yeah, and they said the same thing. I mean, there's just not, it's going to be hard holding her down is going to be.
Wow. Good for Linny Bear. I'm so happy for her. That girl suffered so long.
Oh, yeah. It's just unbelievable. We're all very tired, but we're very happy.
Oh, I bet. Is she hopeful?
She's so hopeful. She is just filled with hope right now. Her life is ready to start again, and it's just amazing.
I'm so happy. You guys, this young, vibrant, active, amazing little sweetheart has been basically bedridden since the summer of 2016.
Yeah.
Other than getting married, she was able to see the wedding through. But
yeah, she graduated graduated college, and then got married 3 months later. And then when they got back from the honeymoon, that was basically it.
Yeah.
She could maybe stand up for 3, maybe 4 hours a day.
Poor thing. I'm just so grateful how God came through, and even right before this news of her diagnosis and the surgery happened, God gave you signs that it was going to be in Nashville and it was going to be hip surgery, and it's all come to pass. Like God was totally pointing the arrows, like I've got this and here's how it's going to happen even.
Yes, I absolutely believe that. And I mean, you and I talked, of course, all throughout the thing, but really about 7 months ago, I told Kim, I said, I really believe that Nashville is where the answer is. And at the same time, Kim told me, well, I just watched, or were you watching it, or a testimony?
A Joyce Meyer video, a YouTube video.
Exactly. And she goes, and after watching that, Heather, I really believe God's telling me it's her hip. And I said, Kim, I absolutely, and I even told her exactly what I thought it was in the hip. And here's fake nurse for you. Everything I said because I felt like it was the perfect storm. There, I felt like there were three things going on, and sure enough, there were three things. And
Unreal.
and the doctor that we that performed the surgery, he is just, well, he's the world's, he created this surgery that he had, that he did to her. He's the inventor of it, I guess you could say. And he's been doing it for the past 11 years. And while we were there, the same day that Lynn had her surgery, an hour after, he performed the same surgery on a New Orleans Saint football player.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember his name. I think it was Brandon Coleman. He's a wide receiver. He's 6'6", and he and Lynn were in PT together. And he looks over, and my daughter's, you know, she's this tiny little thing. She always has a bun on her head, and she was a dancer for 8 years, so she holds herself very ballerinish. And he said, "Hey, are you a dancer?" And she was like, "Well, I danced for 8 years." And she goes, "Are you an athlete?" Because of course she's clueless. And he laughs, and she goes, he kind of chuckled, and he goes, "Something like that. I play a little football." And then of course later on we found out that he is a wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints, and he actually
Very
told her,
cool.
"Something people don't know about me is I had to take tap dance to work on my footwork." And he ended up liking it so much that he still does it. So
Oh my gosh.
football gossip for you guys.
A little football gossip, and Lynn had a little dance partner in PT.
And Austin said that they raced on their crutches to get to the front door, and Lynn beat him.
No way.
And here's the best part, Lynn's surgery, and this is going to sound so morbid, but you have to understand, my daughter was in so much pain for 18 months, and every doctor we saw, and there were a lot of specialists, said, "We don't know what it is. We don't know what it is." So
Right.
what I'm about to say sounds morbid, but really we're happy. And she ended up having the most severe problems. So her surgery was more invasive compared to the football player. And then there was also another girl that had the surgery. So in some of the PT, she wasn't able to do the same things that they could do, because they just had, a repair where she actually had to have bone, filed down and different ligaments removed and stuff like that. But anyway, so that was the big brag, where these guys were whining, and here's my daughter who had, 3 more things done, and she was racing him on crutches.
Oh, that is so great. What a story. She'll never forget that. Oh my goodness.
She said, she goes, "That's just another way to top this off." And the surgery was on Valentine's Day. So it was a great gift.
Oh, that is amazing. Well, I honestly mean it. I wouldn't be any more thrilled about this if it were one of my own daughters, because I love your kids like my own.
I know
So
you do.
It just means so much to me that girl is on her way back to the land of the living.
Amen, sister.
Yep. I can't wait to see what she does with her life too, because we know it's great. It's going to be great. She is made for greatness.
I tell you, and I've been, preaching that into her, because it's very easy to, because you were hit by a car. It's very easy to get discouraged when you're in pain.
Yeah.
And Lynn, they have their bachelor's degree in this crazy science stuff, because they planned on going into the medical field. And after all of this, she's really, really considering becoming a physical therapist. So I think this, and I really feel like the compassion that she would have knowing that kind of pain would really help. But it also, knowing what you have to go through to achieve success, it actually helps you push them a little bit harder.
I was going to say, if you're too empathetic, you won't push them hard. And you really do have to. When I had PT after my accident, I had physical therapists who really pushed me, and I knew they had to, because I had been a runner, and I knew that you got to press past the point of discomfort to make progress in anything. But when someone's in immense pain, it's really hard to say, "Hey, go be in more pain."
Yeah, come on.
Come on, just torture yourself. Like, I don't know that I could be a physical therapist, just because I don't know that I'd want to be around all the pain.
It's a hard thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why God chooses different people for different purposes.
She'd be perfect for it. She's got even that scientific medical background, the whole anatomy thing. Like, she'll be great. And she's sweet. and she'll make people work their butts off and make them think that they're at the park because she makes everything so fun and sweet.
Yeah, she'll be like, "Oh, you're doing so good." But
I
the
can
great
actually
thing
see
is that she's already, like I mentioned to the lady there, this whole story, and the physical therapist, she was like, if you ever want to, if you decide you really want to do that, please let us know, and you can come on in and shadow us. And I mean, it's like all these doors are already opening up for her. So
Oh,
it
that's
always has a way of making everything okay.
yeah.
That needs to be the book of my life.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
it's pretty crappy, but it's going to end up okay.
Yep. Yep. Totally. So, well, we're so excited for Lynn, and we're not excited about my dog barking right now. In fact, you guys, we told you that on this show is, what did we say? Real friends talking about real life.
With real obstacles.
Something else real. Well, it's a real dog that I really forgot to put away.
It's a really cute dog, though.
Yeah. So I'm actually texting my husband right now on my phone. And I'm asking him to come and get his dog because, yeah, when this dog is naughty, it's his.
It's his dog, yeah. Just like my kids are my husband's kids when I'm mad.
Oh, I put, please come and get his dog. He'd be like, whose? Your dog, yours.
Wait, okay. You didn't tell me it was bring your husbands to work tonight?
I know. Well, it actually isn't bring your husband to work tonight because I sent him up to his room. So now I have to have him come back and get the dog. All right. Anyway, you guys, so we are going to keep it rolling here. Even if Pepper decides to bark all night, that's his name. He's a little black fella. He's my little furry black friend. He's got a little white here, so it looks like he's wearing a tuxedo. He's so cute. Anyway, total side note, we have such an exciting show for you guys tonight. We have a very special guest.
Yes,
he is a co-author of The Miracle Effect. You guys have probably already met a couple of those, but man, they're just so good. Aren't they? They're so amazing. We want to share as many of them as possible with you. Mary is, she is the author of the chapter Inspired by an Angel, and she has been on the receiving and giving end of that statement many times. She's also a mentor. She is the coordinator of a ministry called Family Promise. I'm excited for you guys to hear about that. She's the facilitator, I can talk, of divorce and beyond. So she ministers to people who've been through divorce. And she is an amazing entrepreneur. She is the owner and creative director of a business called Inspirational Visions, LLC. And Mary uses inspired artwork and sayings to remind people of who God is for them. She has bookmarks and notebooks and on beautiful little plaques. And one of my favorites is her, the one that says, "Let go and let God," and has this amazing image of God's hands releasing all of this goodness to us. So Mary is just all about being people's angel. And that's why I love her chapter, and I love that title, because she talks about all the angels she has had God send her in her life. And man, she is one. So I'm going to bring Mary out of the waiting room and introduce you officially.
Woohoo! We have a green room now, ladies and
gentlemen. Hi, Mary.
Hello.
Hi, Mary.
Hello. Are your ears burning?
Of course.
Oh, I just talked you up so good. I'm sorry you didn't get to hear it.
She did a great job.
I'm sure she did.
I'm so glad you're here. And I was just telling our viewers and listeners a little bit about Inspirational Visions. And, I do give our guests a little heads up on some of the questions, but do I or do I not warn you that we may go off script?
Absolutely. You did. You warned me.
Well, we're going off script right out of the gate. So
way to go.
Can you tell everyone what inspired Inspirational Visions? How did that come to be?
That's a great question.
That is a great question. Actually, that came to be kind of through all of the hardships that I've been through in my life. And the Holy Spirit came to me in the middle of the night. And I kept having these thoughts and visions, and I would wake up, I'd run in, get paper, and I'd either draw something or write it out. And the very first one was let go, let God. And it was, the Spirit reminding me that I need to let go and let God in whatever it is that I'm doing. And so he created this image, and he put remarkable graphic designers in my life to help me create it, because that I can be creative in some ways, but obviously not that one. And then actually one of the other images is how he would tell me that we need to focus on all the wonderful things that should be running through our bodies. We're beautiful, we're holy, and then the last one was that I just did, broken, not shattered. In the middle of the night, it came. Wow. And it was,
those are the best sayings in the world.
Yeah. And it was this image of the broken glass and the negative things around us in our life, and how when you let the light of God shine through, and you again let go, let God, he shines that light, and all the positive words came out, and on the outside it was all the shattered negative words that you need to get rid of. So that came through in the middle of the night.
Wow. And so how long has Inspirational Visions been around, Mary?
Since 2014.
Okay, so you're going on 4 years in business. Mm-hmm. And your products are in bookstores, churches, online, right?
Yes, there are a couple of venues here, even locally, Espresso Love in Maguanago. And so that's been real good. And on my website, inspirationalvisions.com.
Okay, good. I was hoping you'd share that. So that's inspirationalvisions.com. You guys should check out.
Actually, it's inspirationalvisionsllc.com.
Ooh, okay. Don't forget those special letters.
Yeah, we'll post that on our Coffee with Kim Facebook too. But
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, well, good, Mary. I know that when I met you, I was inspired by the fact that you took these incredible messages that God used to fill you, and then you immediately looked for a way to make that a blessing to others. And that really just kind of sums up who you are. You talk about how God has used angels in your life, and we'll get to that more in a few minutes. But you work pretty stinking hard to be an angel in other people's lives. I mean, you don't make it look like work, but you do so much to be an angel in people's lives. I was telling them about the Family Promise coordinator, being a mentor, being a facilitator of divorce and beyond. All of these places really lead you to broken people, do they not?
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. And, and I think that goes back to when you were broken and an angel really stepped into your life. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But before we do, I want to ask you a question we ask all of our extraordinary guests. What do you think makes a woman extraordinary?
I think an ordinary woman doing extraordinary things.
Ooh.
I think she steps outside of herself, and she allows God to be the driving force to share her gifts and talents. And I believe she's an instrument for whatever she does.
Wow. Beautiful.
Wow. An extraordinary woman is an instrument in the hands of an extraordinary God.
Amen.
I just came up with that.
Amen.
I was waiting for her to go, yeah, that was good.
Well, I was going to say, I'll have to share it with you, Mary, because you inspired it, but dang, that was good. But
that was good.
That because, it really, what you're saying is that really a surrendered woman, a woman surrendered to God. She's surrendered her gifts. She's surrendered her life. she's allowed God to use her and be in the behind the wheel of her life.
Absolutely.
And I agree wholeheartedly. It's women can do extraordinary things apart from God. I mean, we see it a lot, actually, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I believe with all my heart, that's because we have that greatness in our DNA. We're all God's children. So even people doing it without realizing God's a part of it are still reflecting the nature of God.
Yeah,
correct.
Whether they acknowledge it or not, we're made in His image, and He's extraordinary, and He made us for greatness. In fact, Jesus said, "Greater things will you do than you've seen me do."
Mm-hmm.
What? That's crazy. But I think what He meant was, hey, if you guys all work together, imagine what you can do when I'm just one guy, because at that point He was a man on the earth. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a message for the church, like, church arise, like, women arise.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I could preach, so I better get to the next question. So I love that definition, though. Thank you. Who is an extraordinary woman who's had an impact on you, Mary?
When you asked that question, I actually, two came to my mind. One being my mother, and being the person that taught me to be non-judgmental, to love unconditionally, and to be forgiving as God has forgiven us. And that it doesn't matter where you are in life or your fame or fortune, we're still God's children. And the other person that comes to my mind that has always inspired me is Mother Teresa. I mean, what an amazing woman, loving unconditionally, serving the Lord by serving others.
Yes.
And just both of those people loving unconditionally and non-judging, those were huge inspirations for me.
Wow.
I love that. So that whole, like, unconditional love and non-judgmental love, do you feel like that's particularly inspiring to you because you didn't receive it at some point in your life? Or why do you think that stands out so much to you, that kind of love?
Well, I think maybe I didn't have it, when I was feeling broken, I didn't get that. And so I know how important it is for me to want it and feel it. And so it's so easy, there's so many broken people out there. And so why wouldn't you want to give back and say, you are loved, You're not judged, we're not here to judge you. Just accept them the way God created them to be.
Well, and it's so obvious you were chosen for the ministry called Family Promise, because that's a ministry to homeless people. And the last thing the homeless need is to be judged.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They all have a story. And, the important thing that people need to hear is that any one of us can be homeless at any given time. I mean, situations we've had families that, a family member is sick and the other one is taking care of them and they end up losing their job and then they get evicted and it's just this trickle effect. And so before you know it, if you don't have somebody around your family to help you, you're homeless. Yeah. And you're not homeless forever. They have the resources to help you get a sustainable life. So, within 30, 60, 90 days, these homeless families are back on their feet.
Through the ministry you're a part of? Wow, correct. That's remarkable. 30, 60, 90 days, they've got people in their own place?
Right.
Wow.
So what we do is there's 13 churches and these families go week after week to these different churches and we feed them, house them. But part of the program is they have to use the resources and that Family Promise provides to help them get on their feet.
Okay. So it's like we're going to help you in the interim and you're going to work on solving the problem.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Wow, that's beautiful. How long have you been a part of that, Mary?
Oh, I think I'm going on my 4th year.
Wow.
You're a busy little bee there, Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, we have a host week coming up in March.
Yeah. And Mary, I wanted to make mention, I didn't in my intro of you, that you're happily married and you have 2 adult children and you also have stepchildren, don't you?
I do. Yes.
2 stepchildren?
2 step. Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I thought 4. And I apologize. I didn't have that written down, but.
Oh, that's okay.
You're extraordinary. You have a family. You have a marriage that you invest a lot in. You know, it's a relationship that you cultivate. And you're involved in these ministries. You work a full-time job, plus you own a business.
Yes.
You sound like me.
I was going to say,
right?
We've got another Kim.
I know. So it's just kind of funny when I think about it. I'm an author, an entrepreneur, and for fun, I work at in a middle school.
In a middle school. Like that's fun for her. Hey, for fun, I live in a middle school.
Right.
Actually, mine's more like a high school. The kids are getting older now. So, but wow, that's so amazing, Mary. I'm just so inspired by your story, your answers, and what you've done to give back.
Thank
you. You know, getting back to the angels, I know from knowing you that being drawn to these ministries and founding Inspirational Visions, and even your work in that middle school, you know, you're in the administrative part of the school, but you still have a focus on ministering to those kids. So everywhere you go, you're somebody's angel. Tell us, how did, you know, angels become so important to you? And describe to our viewers, what do you mean by an angel?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Well, this angel coming in all shapes and forms and sizes. My story of the angel came from when I was 14 years old. I was sexually abused, and I was outside, and I was sitting by this tree, and I was crying, and God put this angel in my life. And this woman came up to me, didn't ask me why I was crying. She asked me if I believed in God. And so, of course, I said yes. And from that moment, she planted seeds of faith, hope, and love to just keep my belief going. And she kept saying that with God, all things are possible, and that you just need to trust him. And so through life, you know, I went through so many different things and hardships, and I had 2 miscarriages before my daughter, 2 after her. And then, you know, it's like one thing happened after another. And then the doctor says, oh, well, your son's probably not going to make it. And my son is now 25 and he's serving in the United States Air Force. So,
we made it.
You know, God has a purpose and plan for everybody. And, but he sent angels along my way and during this journey to help me through those hardships. So the angels coming, whether it's a nurse, a doctor, a friend, a neighbor, anybody.
I love that.
So yeah, so I've gone through the miscarriages, being a single mom, going through divorce, even meeting my husband on an airplane. I mean, when I said, absolutely not, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not interested. No. And, you know, God says, wait a second, who's in control? Me or you? So
hey, I tried to run my second husband off too, and he just wasn't having it. So
that's right. So we have that in common.
Yeah, we have a lot in common, Mary. Well, I love that you call them angels because it reminds me of how in the Old Testament, when, like, I think of Abraham, I think of Elijah, especially Elijah in a moment when he was almost suicidal. And God sent an angel to feed him and to strengthen him. And, God is using his children, or even sometimes people who don't realize they're being your angel,
Exactly.
But God is sending these messengers into your life at all these key moments. And your chapter is really about how you can almost map out your journey with your encounters with these people that God just sent to give you that next piece of knowledge or strength or hope or healing. And here you are today giving so much back to so many broken people. It's just beautiful, Mary.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it. And it really does give me a lot of peace to be able to give back.
Yeah.
And I know how that emptiness feels. And if I can take some of that emptiness away from anybody, then I'm serving my purpose.
That's beautiful. I want to get back just for a minute to that day by the tree when you were sitting outside. That was the actual day that you were assaulted, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
So this is minutes or hours later?
Probably, I would say within 2 hours.
Within 2 hours of being violated, God sends this woman to completely minister hope and life and faith into your brokenness, like 2 hours.
Yeah. Right. Correct.
And you, at 14, did you realize how remarkable that was?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I really didn't. And when I think about how she took me, and the interesting thing is I was never scared. This woman took me up to her college room and provided her Bible to me. And at no given point was I ever afraid of her, ever.
Wow.
And now looking back, it had to have been, God wrapping his arms around me and somehow giving me that peace inside because I was never afraid.
Do you still have that Bible, Mary?
I do. I still have it.
And did she inscribe anything to you in the Bible?
She wrote a list of Bible verses for me to read. She wrote her name. She wrote my name, her name, and the date we met.
Oh,
wow.
And I actually have tried to reach out with no success.
Oh, well, we will keep praying that that divine appointment is set and that God arranges it, because how beautiful will that be? Oh my goodness. And
I would love to meet her.
Yeah, I bet you would. As you were talking about how she wrote the date in the Bible, I just felt this excitement that this date, the enemy tried to mark this date with his mark. His mark is to kill, to steal, and destroy. But she, not knowing what happened to you, she had no clue what happened to you.
No.
She decided to write the date in the Bible next to all these scriptures, and now that date has become the day you met your first angel.
Correct. Yeah.
wow.
That's exactly right.
Unbelievable.
She changed my life.
Everywhere.
She changed my life.
And we're so afraid to talk to strangers about Jesus. What if she had been too afraid to talk to you about Jesus?
Oh, my life probably would be very different. Very, very different.
Wow.
Because every day then I was out reading that Bible she gave me. I kept away from, the evilness in my life. And I held on to that Bible and I read it. And that was just my saving grace.
Wow.
Wow. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And that really just speaks so clearly what God wants us to do. When you see someone hurting and someone broken like that, you don't need to know why. Just give them the love that God provides for you, and what a beautiful gift she gave you. And she's clueless. She has no idea, and now you're doing the same thing for other people. That's so beautiful. I love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, Mary, it's so inspiring. And one of the things I love about you is how you're just so humble about your story and about the ministry, the many ways you touch people. So I'm going to have you step outside of your comfort zone a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I would like to hear about what was your favorite time of being the angel? I mean, you've gotten to do so many things to save lives physically, emotionally, spiritually. I mean, take a minute and tell us, like, what was a really big moment for you to be on the angel side and give back?
Actually, there is a story that that just really resonates in my life. So I was living in Arizona, and there was this loud noise outside, and this boy and girl. Well, this boy was driving a car, and he went off the curb, and the girl was. The doors were open. The girl was screaming, and he just took off running. And so I was her angel. So I went to her and just hugged. And the first thing I asked her was if she believed in God.
Oh,
yeah. And that's why it's like everything came back to me. And she said yes. And she was crying, and she said, why would he leave me? And just shared her life. And she was broken. She was very broken. And so I told her, I said, it's going to be okay. I said, God's going to take care of this for you. And I said, this isn't somebody that loves you.
Right.
Because if he loved you, he wouldn't treat you like this.
Right.
And so I just talked to her, and in a very compassionate way. And all of a sudden she was like hyperventilating, and the police were coming, and she's like, no, you don't understand. And I said, honey, it's going to be okay. And she said, no, you don't understand. That officer's my father. And she thought her father was just going to kill her. And I said, your father loves you. I said, just like our Father in heaven loves us. I said, your father loves you. I said, just go listen to him. He'll be okay. I said, you'll be fine. And that was the end of it. I don't know her name, never knew her name. And there at the end of it, 6 months later, a knock on my door. 6 months later, she said, that day you changed my life. She said, my father grounded me.
As he should.
Right. And I broke up with my boyfriend.
Good.
And she said, I look at life differently because you gave me that opportunity.
Wow.
So,
Mary.
yeah.
How old was she?
She must have been she was still in high school.
Wow.
So probably 17, 18.
Wow. I had never heard that story before. I love it.
Yeah.
I totally love it. I love how it was right outside where you lived, just like your angel. It was outside where she lived, and wow.
Mm-hmm.
And she was.
And I don't know her name.
What's that?
And I don't know her name.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she's listening.
Yes, maybe she's listening. And that wasn't the important part. It wasn't that, but it shocked me. And she said to me, she goes, I had been watching you outside through the window. She goes, I hesitated. Should I come in? Shouldn't I? Should I say something? And she says, but I had to tell you, and I had to thank you.
Oh, praise God.
So, yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
I love that.
I bet that anyone listening or watching right now has already thought of angels in their life.
Yes.
And I think that's such a beautiful ministry of yours, Mary, that you help people be aware that those things aren't coincidental, they're not accidental. Right. And, we can spend a lot of time thinking about what we don't have, what God is not doing for us. But when we sit and we really get serious and think about the angels he has sent to cross our path during dark moments,
Correct.
We all should be filled with gratitude. He uses people to help people.
Absolutely.
Plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow. So one more question on this Mary being an angel thing. I know you're like, please stop.
Mary the angel.
What is a big way that you'd like to be an angel that you have not yet gotten to do, but it's kind of a dream of yours? Do you have something like that?
A dream of mine, be an angel.
Just remember, we're not Oprah, so we're not going to make it happen. But we just want to know.
We're not Ellen either.
There isn't any one thing.
Okay.
I just hope to continue doing whatever it is that God has intended for me to do.
Yeah.
However He wants me to help somebody through my words, my actions, my stories, whatever. There isn't any one thing that really stands out for me.
Well, you're doing it. You are doing it.
Other than that,
Wow.
I just want people to be able to know that, like you said, Kimberly, I mean, angels come in every shape and form. And I really believe that when we're really broken and we don't think that, anybody's going to help us through it, that really God puts somebody. It can be that smile. It can be that you're having a bad day and you just need somebody to be nice. You need a smile, you need a gesture, you need some kind word, or you need that angel that He's going to put in your life.
Yes.
So true.
Amen. Well, I'm going to give you one more opportunity to be an angel today. If there's someone listening or watching today who's really broken, maybe today was that day that the darkest cloud they've ever been under, looms over them. What would you say to those women today, or young women, or even children like you were?
The first thing I would say is let go, let God. Okay? And to know that you're not alone. God has never left you. Whether your faith is really strong or the size of a mustard seed, God never left you. He will never abandon you. And He is going to put someone in your life at some given point to help you through whatever it is that you're struggling. Yeah. And I just ask that you be brave enough to open your eyes, open your heart, and allow God to put that smile in front of you, put that person, gesture, whatever the case may be for that person. Just be open to it.
I love that. That's so beautiful. I love how you said God will send someone to get you through. Heather, I know you're thinking about how He did that for you. I'm thinking about how He's done it for me time and time again. He just will.
Always.
Absolutely.
You didn't even ask that day for an angel. During a very dark season of my life, didn't ask for an angel, but I got one. Heather cried out to God, but didn't ask for an angel, and she got one. Oh, spoiler alert! I'm Heather's angel.
She's my angel.
Her chapter is about our friendship and how
just call her angel. Yeah.
So I love that I asked her to write in the book too, and her whole story was about our friendship, and I was bawling when she turned in her chapter to me. I just was doing a job and reading her manuscript, and there I was, a puddle on the floor. But even that,
I did such a great job.
Exactly, because the writing was stellar. It really wasn't about me.
You're right. Yeah.
Right.
But just that idea that you have no idea. I didn't know I was going to be her angel. I didn't even know 20 years later when she wrote the chapter that I had that much of an impact on her. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. All I did was show her God's love. And well, I was weird at first, according to her, but whatever. And I just
weird. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, what did you call me? A Jesus
freak.
Yeah, Jesus freak,
Jesus
Bible thumper. Yeah, that whole thing. And she was just like, oh, this woman won't shut up. But anyway, I just wanted to love her. I knew that God wanted me to be a good neighbor, and she moved in across the street,
Mm-hmm.
and she chumped me because she sent cookies over to me before I could bake something for her.
Oh, the nerve.
Oh no,
Heather.
the neighbor has it backwards. I'm supposed to send the baked goods.
Yeah. Little did I know, right? That was so rude of me.
Way to go, Heather.
That was the first of hundreds, dare I say, thousands of times she fed me and my family.
Her family of 20.
These angel stories we've got to really take this seriously. Like,
yes.
There are people out there thinking of Mary going, thank God for what she did for me. And thinking of Heather saying, thank God for what she did for me. And our viewers and our listeners, there are people saying that you were their angel. And even more importantly, there are many, many more people waiting for you to be their angel. And they don't even know it's you. But God does. God is, he's got you poised, and he's setting the stage for each one of us to be this angel to somebody else.
Right.
What a beautiful way to look at serving people.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you were telling your story, I couldn't help but think about the first person that ever talked to me about the Lord and my relationship. And I was 5 years old. Believe it or not, I still lived in New York, and I remember her name to this day. And I would give anything to, just kind of reach out to her and say, hey, look, I'm still on that path. God still has me going, And I mean, her name was Kathy Less. I remember it clear as day. She saved my mom. And this is a woman who lived next door to us, I guess, for years and years. But my parents didn't speak with them. They weren't friends or anything. But when my mom went into the hospital, Kathy would go to the hospital and pray over my mom every day. And none of us knew this. We had no idea. And she would bring food over and just leave it at the door. We didn't find this out for years. Mm-hmm. But that she was our first angel. And I know as you were talking, I'm like, God has always placed these people. Like Kim said, she really was my angel, and she still is.
Yeah. Right. Oh, who, me?
Yeah, well, yeah, now we're talking about you.
I was like, wait, what? We're talking about Kathy. Well, and Heather has been my angel. I mean, I told her, I'm like, you were my angel. She's like, no, you were mine. And that's the thing about it, that, when you're both just doing what God puts in your heart to do,
exactly.
It should be that you both feel like you're getting the better end of the bargain.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
We talk about how that's true friendship, when both people think they're getting the better deal.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Mary, I can't thank you enough for being willing to share your story. Where can our viewers and listeners purchase a copy of The Miracle Effect from you? And if you wouldn't mind just pulling that copy up from behind you.
I see it there.
I love that little prop in the back there.
I know.
Look at that beautiful book.
Yes, you can get your copy at inspirationalvisionsllc.com.
Okay, wonderful.
Reach out there, and I have some at Espresso Love as well if you're local.
Espresso Love Cafe. Who doesn't want to go to a place called Espresso Love?
I want to go.
I know, right?
It's great.
I'll meet you there in 12 hours.
Okay.
There you go.
Heather, I can't believe I've never taken you there, because it's like 5 minutes from my house. And they're one of the only locally owned coffee shops that has a low carb chai tea latte, and it's delicious. You won't care about that.
Wow, I didn't know.
Kimberly and I spend a lot of time there.
Yes, we have.
So cute. I love that.
Yes.
Oh, well,
so I'm going to post your website on our Facebook page, but I wanted to make sure they can also look at the little things that you were telling us about, the bookmarks and the crafts, and that's all on that website too, right?
There's a link on there, yes. And then if they have any questions, they can reach out to me on my Facebook or my.
What about Family Promise? Is there information to that also?
Yes, Family Promise of Waukesha County is the
They
link.
can Google that to read up on it.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Wonderful. And just so you guys know, if you end up checking out Mary's products, they are wonderful gifts, just amazing. In fact, I purchased some of the bookmarks from you to give to all the authors of The Miracle Effect. Here's one right there. Yay, she's got it. Look at that, you guys. Mary, so tell our viewers, because they can't really see it, what are the words coming out of let go? And then what are the words coming out of God's hands, or the hands there?
Okay, so the bottom, the hands, it's all the negative. It's the pride, the guilt, the fear, the worry, anxiety at the bottom. And then when we learn to let go, let God, then he gives us assurance, humility, faith, calming, innocence.
That is so cool.
Letting go and letting God is really letting go of that heaviness and taking on the rest and peace and lightness that God has for us.
Yes.
I love that. And, you know, Mary, I have to say, you've been through a lot of really painful things in your life, difficulty, but you have such a light and restful peace about you. It's really evidence of God's work in your life. It really is. I don't think you realize how much glory you bring him.
I guess I don't, but thank you very much for that. I just feel it in my heart to live my life and do what he has for his purpose.
I love it.
Well, you wear it well, my friend.
Well, thank you.
You do. Well, thank you, Mary. We would love to have you back again sometime.
I would love that. And thank you both for the opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Have a great day, because it's morning right now, 9 a.m. on a Wednesday.
It's 9 a.m.
Well, thank you very much, ladies. You have
Bye, Mary. God bless you.
God bless you. Thanks.
Wow. Well, that was just so amazing. I loved it. Loved it.
She is so great. A lot of that I didn't really know about her, so I just admire her even more now.
Yeah, she is one of those people that has a lot of layers, because she does just appear joyful and lighthearted. It's like, wait, what happened to you? What else happened to you? You just are like, wow, how are you so beautiful and loving and sweet and gentle?
Gentle.
Very gentle.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you see instantly on her.
Yeah, like that. And it's just beautiful how she ministers to people who've been through divorce and homeless people, because they need gentle.
They do. You're right.
They really do.
Gentle and non-judgmental.
Yes, she's got it going on. Well, I mean, what a beautiful interview. That was so fun.
Yeah. She actually makes you want, I want to be someone's angel. I want to be that person. And I hope you guys out there feel that same way. If God put that on your heart, do it. Because Kim brought up a great point. How often do we really kind of fear bringing God into any conversation, let alone a stranger with someone you see on the street? But what better time to ask someone that simple question when they're broken and they're hurt? That's who they need. They don't need you. They need God. Amen. So next time, let's remember this. Let's really hold on to this and let's do it.
I love it. I know in our culture, our society, the atmosphere is not welcoming to Christians for the most part. And we're afraid to rock the boat and offend someone with our beliefs. And, gosh, what if Mary was afraid to offend people,
Right. Yeah.
She wouldn't have her business. She wouldn't have 2 of her ministries. I mean, and she is actively being an angel for people every single week.
It's just amazing. She's a little powerhouse.
Yeah, I know. And even how she came out of her apartment to minister to that girl after they had the car accident. Right. And she completely paid it forward. She did the exact thing that was done for her. I love that. What if we just did the thing that was done for us in other people's lives? What if we just did that? Don't even get creative. Just do what was done for you.
You don't even have to think about it, people. Get out.
No, if someone made you a meal, go make someone a meal,
Yes. Oh, that could bless. How many times have we? That is such a blessing. You have no idea. Seriously, if you know someone who's in the hospital or, mom is having a baby or whatever it is, go clean their house, do their dishes, bring them a hot meal, because when you bring the meal, not only are you cooking for him, but you're also saving him some money because you're buying the groceries. So
that's right. Take it from a mother of 11 children who had meals brought to her after almost every baby.
Yes.
It
Isn't that
saved us
great?
so much on our grocery bill. I was always like, thank you, God, we don't have to buy, as many groceries, because just the grocery shopping was a task when I was, recovering from having a baby. So, hey, I just thought of a really great contest for this show.
Okay.
So, you guys are ready? We did not script this. Whoever goes out after viewing or listening to this show or podcast and is someone's angel and tells us about it in our private Facebook group, facebook.com/group/coffee with Kim.
Yeah.
They win a really special prize, and we're gonna beef it up this time because we really want to give back to whoever decides to give back. So
love it.
And there's no rules about how you have to be the angel. Just go be the angel. And then you get to tell us about it. And we know you're not bragging. You're just telling us because we told you to. So don't worry like, I can't tell you because that would be bragging. No, we really need to know what you're doing because we want our Coffee with Kim community to be inspired to be angels. We want to be surrounded by a community of angels.
You know what, Kim? And we prayed before this show because we really wanted to reach people. Yes. And we wanted not only to be fun and have a good time, but we want to create this type of atmosphere. We want to get the talk. We want to get it going. We want to give God some glory and we want to work for him. And what better way? I love this contest. I love contests anyway. So do it, guys. Do it.
Yeah, the fact that I thought of the contest is just evidence of how much you're rubbing off on me. So, because that's not my jam, you guys. That's hers. But I'm starting to get a feel for it. So I love it. So we want to hear about you and just be an angel. Be an angel and be a blessing because it is a blessing to be a blessing. And to look at the joy in their face, when you bring them a meal or you just stop by with a little gift. I mean, you guys, I go into my office and it does not fail. John and Sue own the building where I work, my mentor and spiritual mom, Sue. And it doesn't fail. There is a gift bag on my desk and there is a handwritten note. And it's usually a prayer or a word of encouragement or like a prophetic word with a scripture attached. And there was a Valentine's Day gift for me on the day before Valentine's Day. And there's usually at least 2 little pieces of dark chocolate because I am her daughter. I know that, like I'm her adopted daughter because we both love with food. But she knows I'm trying to be healthy. So it's always really dark, healthy chocolate. Or it's gluten-free cookies. That's what she leaves me. It's so awesome. So, but you guys, she's my angel. And I every time I go into work, I forget that she does that. So every time I walk in my office, I'm like, oh, and I mean, it's a small thing, but it's a huge thing.
Oh, it means so much. Even if it's just you see someone that looks good. Seriously, you walk into a store, someone looks good, tell them, hey, you look great today. I've had someone do that to me in Panera, and I still talk about it. It was the best feeling in the world. Seriously, just be angels. And it doesn't have to just be one thing. I mean, try going a whole week, but tell us about it. And then how will we decide who wins? We'll just put all these wonderful
the first
things.
Person. Or let's do a drawing. Yeah.
Yeah, this first
the drawing
person
will be 1 week after the show. So we'll give you guys a week to plan and, to have some time. But go be angels. And you know what, you guys? I'm not even going to do a health is wealth tip of the week because we want you to stay focused on being an angel this time. We're not going to go there. So go and be the change. Be the angel.
Be the change that you want to see.
Mm-hmm, that's right. Mic drop.
All right, guys. Don't forget to visit our Facebook private group. Kim gave you the address, but I'll try to remember it.
Or just put in the search bar on Facebook, Coffee with Kim, and it's a group. It'll come up.
Yes, and just make sure you go to our group, not somebody else's, because you like us, remember?
Do you think there's another group called Coffee with Kim? We'll have to search and find out.
There is, because I have.
Oh, okay, then forget it. It's facebook.com/groups/Coffee with Kim.
Yes, and remember, like Kim said, we will give you 1 week, and I'll put all the rules up and everything. But I want you guys really, let's be creative. Let's knock this out of the park. Let's start a tradition or some kind of crazy wave. All these viral things, we could start that. Who knows?
What do you say that you and I set the pace and we commit to be someone's angel too?
Absolutely. Well, I'm being an angel downstairs right now, but I'll step it up to someone else.
Yeah, someone outside of your household. You are Lenny's angel. I mean, you are her fake nurse, but maybe in between nursing Lenny for fake, you can go and take your neighbor some cookies or something.
Absolutely. I'm going to take a couple people some cookies, but
I'm good at the cookies.
I like oh my gosh, I improved my cookies too. I'll have to tell you later. We're going to have to do a cooking show one day.
One day we will.
Yes.
But not today, because that's a wrap for us, you guys.
Woo, we're done. Guys, thank you so much for watching us. I love saying watching. I don't know why. I don't know. I used to be scared to be on the camera.
Coffee with Kim TV.
Up and yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm ready. Someone get us a TV show. All right. We love you guys. So glad you joined us today, and you have a great rest of the day. Don't forget, get out there and be the change that you want to see. Bye, Miss Kim.
Go be an angel. Bye, Miss Heather, my angel.
Bye, Miss Kim, my first angel.
Bye.